Hey guys, it is Tuesday, March the 24th, and we are going to go through some of these activities for today and review what you went over yesterday. Here you can see Katie Pruitt working here in the background, so I apologize in advance for any interruptions, but we're going to get through this stuff. I hope that yesterday went pretty smooth for you. If there was something that was hard or that you needed me to slow down on more, just comment below and we will make it better. Okay, so the goal is to make this as easy as possible for you guys at home, and I want to help. So I'm looking in the binder now at the example from yesterday for your math journal or for your math warm-up. So what it needed you to do was to add up 3 items. So if you remember, Jean wanted to get 2 hot dogs for lunch and a drink with it. So it's a silly question, I know, but you were to add up the 3 prices for those items. So it was $2.74 plus $2.74 plus $2.15. And I scanned in the worksheet so that you can check it, but the total for those 3 items was $7.63. I'm going to show you my example, but then the rest of the question was asking you to make change. Okay, so what you had to do was add the 3 items. It gave you the total of $7.63, but you pretended like you paid with a $10 bill. Okay, so that's over here on this side. If you paid with $10, but you made a purchase of $7.63, we want to find how much change you got back, and that answer is $2.37. And that is already scanned in, and it should be located on the tab for today, so you can see exactly what I did. For journal writing, you simply had to answer what's your dream job. I wanted you to tell me your top 3. So that's a discussion that we have in Google Classroom. And you're welcome to post it there if you want to share with your friends. If you just journaled in your notebook, that's totally fine. And then finally, we did the interview and social skills for yesterday. And it talked about professional communication. So there were 3 questions that went along with that. Those are all scanned in for you to see the answers. But I will just kind of briefly go over the answers for you now. The first question, professional communication is A, the kind of communication adults use at work. B, formal language from work, college, or a trade school. C, language that is appropriate in professional settings. Or D, all of the above. The answer is D. All of those are examples of professional communication. So if you put D, that's right. If you put A, B, or C, it's okay. Just go back and kind of review why all 3 of them are appropriate. Katie. So the second question is, why wouldn't you send a text message to your boss that used like a bunch of crazy language and like abbreviations and things that young people say? Anyway, the reasons why you should not do that is because A, it is casual language reserved for friends. B, it's inappropriate in the work setting. And C, it is not respectful to use that kind of casualness in the work setting. So the answer is D, all of the above, because each one of those is a good reason why you shouldn't send your boss some wacky text. And then finally, the third question from yesterday talks about a better text message that you could send your boss if you were going to be late or you had something hold you up to make you a few minutes behind. You would not text your boss, later dude. You would not text your boss, I'm late, my bad. But you would say, C, I'm running a little late. I should be there in about 5 minutes. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, that would be the best answer to send your boss if you're running late, not the first two. That is a really quick review of yesterday, but like I said, those activities have been scanned in and they're uploaded just below this video. Okay, so that means that now we can jump into today's activities. So if you look back at your calendar in the front of your binder, we're still that first highlighted week of March. So for March the 24th, Tuesday the 24th, we're going to do a math warm-up together. We're also going to do another career journal. Those two things are constant through this learning from home. You will always have a math warm-up and you will always have a writing activity that deals with career readiness. So because we all have goals dealing with money and its value and things like that, and we all also have goals to improve our writing. So we want to make sure that we're writing about something that matters, like getting ready for a career one day. Today, since we did professional communication, like job skills yesterday, we're going to do some kitchen basics. So today, I'm going to read you a passage on kitchen safety, and then we're going to answer a few questions. Okay, so a lot of information all at once. You guys know that if you need to pause this video and rewind or pause it and see the notes that I've put up, you can do that, okay? But we can go ahead and jump right in. My goal is that by this afternoon, I also have either a link for you to listen to Messenger, or I will just record myself reading it. I'm sorry. So that you can have something to follow along with as we jump into Chapter 7. I'm going to review 1 through 6 so that we kind of can catch up to where we were. But Chapter 7 is what we're going to have done by Friday. So here we go. For the math warm-up today, it's on the second page behind the math tab. So yesterday was number 1. Today is number 2. I already made some notes here, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. So, whoops. So number 2. Okay, it says at the top, March 24th. So here's the question. The table below shows the prices of several items in a grocery store. So you can see that chart. It's a lot like yesterday's. It has an item and it has the price listed below. So that is what you will use to find out what you need to add, subtract, whatever. So the question is this. Miss Smith needs to buy spoons, forks, and plates. How much will it all cost? So yesterday we were making change, which involves subtraction, but today it just wants us to know how much 3 items cost if we add them up together. So all we're doing is adding these 3 items. I have an example here. This is how I would set it up if I were you. So if you need to pause here and see how I did this, you can. We've aligned the decimals so that when we're adding with just pencil and paper, we don't get confused with numbers not lining up with one another. So the spoons at the top are $3.14. The forks are very expensive at $4.58. And then the plates are going to be $4.75. So you can either use pencil and paper, you can use your journal as scratch paper, or you can also just write it at the bottom of the question. Let's add these 3 items up together and we're going to find a total. Okay, if you need help, you have that calculator in the front pocket of your binder. But if you think you can do it without it, then go for it, and you can always double check yourself with the calculator. So here is your math problem. It's also in your notebook, and I will post the answers for this tomorrow. But for now, you can work on that at home. The next section that we're going to flip to is again the journals, because remember, like I said, you'll always have a math warm-up and you will always have a journal. So we can practice those math goals and the writing goals. Okay, so for Tuesday, March the 24th, this is going to be right under yesterday's. The journals are 2 a page. Looks like this. Okay, they're dated. Each one has a date that corresponds with the question you need to answer. All right, I will read this prompt aloud to you, and then I'm going to kind of simplify it, tell you how we can make it easier to do for your paragraph that you're going to write. So here is your prompt. Would you rather be in a job or career where you get to sit all day in a warm, comfortable environment? Or would you prefer to have an outdoor type job that allowed you to move around and take advantage of the outdoor setting? It also says that you can identify 2 good things about working inside and 2 bad things. And you can also identify 2 good things and 2 bad things about working outside. So, I'm not requiring you to do all of that, but if you want to go above and beyond, you can tell me the good reasons and the bad reasons for both. What I just want to know is, I have it written down here so that you can clearly see. This is what I want to know from you in your paragraph. Would you rather work inside or would you rather work outside, and why? Okay, so just pick one. If you want to work in an office, then obviously that's going to be inside. If you want to work construction, that's probably going to be outside. So tell me the good reasons and the bad reasons for both, if you would like. But I just want to know inside or outside and why. So this will also be posted on the Google Classroom for a discussion if you want to just kind of toss around some ideas with a classmate and see why they would prefer one or the other. Okay, so that goes through our math warm-up and our journal. If you need to go back to math and pause and do that activity, go for it. If you want to pause here at the journal and complete it, that's great. The next section that we're going to go into is the last tab, and it's called Kitchen Basics. So you can flip on over. And this is going to be the first activity that we do for this section. So, this is kind of like your table of contents for these different tabs. So for Kitchen Basics, we're going to do the first activity, and it says Safety First. This is a review because we do this all the time in class, but I want you to make sure that when you're helping mom and dad at home right now, which you should be, whether you're helping with laundry or you're helping with dishes or cooking, you need to help them, but we want to make sure that we're doing it safely. So, not like this lady in the picture here. She's got all kinds of trouble going on. Let's read. So, kitchens are one of the areas of the house where people have the most accidents. You can avoid trouble by following these safety tips. Girl. I won a medal. Well, good job. Katie won a medal.
Just 3 medals.
Okay, so here we go. Safety first. The first thing that you can do to avoid trouble or accidents in the kitchen is 1, avoid chaos. It's hard to do in this house sometimes. Hurrying and clutter can lead to spills, falls, cuts, and other accidents. So slow down. Close drawers and doors and clean up as you go along. The second tip is don't dangle. Tie your hair back. Take off your jewelry. Don't let sleeves or other clothing dangle. They can catch fire or get tangled up in appliances. So this is kind of the stuff that we remember when we work in the cafeteria with Miss Monica, is we always want to have a hairnet, gloves, pull sleeves up, that type of thing. So the third tip is to concentrate. Put the cell phone down. Keep your mind on what you're doing. 4, step up. Use a step stool or a step ladder. Don't put heavy things on high shelves, and don't take a shortcut that can lead to a fall. Don't climb on the counters. Don't use a broom to try and push something off the top shelf. Use a step stool. Be smart. Be safe. Tip number 5 is to harness the heat. That means to turn the pot handles in on the stove. You never want the pot handles hanging off the edge. And set hot pans safely away. Watch dangling clothing and towels around the heat source. And number 6, respect electricity. Don't let cords touch water. Don't use appliances with frayed cords. And if in doubt, turn off the breaker. So that's something that you would need to talk to your parents about. Whenever we're cooking at home and we're still learning to do these things, we have to have a teacher or a parent there to help, just to make sure that we're making these safe choices and not putting ourselves in a dangerous situation. So at home with mom and dad, grandma, whoever, help them in the kitchen and then make sure that you're following these safety tips. All right, if you turn the page, there's a worksheet that goes along with this activity, and it's fill in the blank. So yesterday, our activity was multiple choice. You just had to circle the answers. This, you're going to write in your answers, but you can refer back to your notes. So you can flip back and forth between the two. Okay, so here is the Safety First worksheet that you're going to be completing today. And I will read the questions aloud to you so that you know how to answer them. If you need to pause after I read a question so that you can answer it and flip back, that's fine. And then you can start it up again when you're ready for the next question. So, number 1, name 2 things that you can do to prevent chaos in the kitchen. So just 2 things. If you flip back to the previous page, tip 1 is avoid chaos. So your answer is going to be found next to number 1. Number 2, why should you tie your hair back when you cook? Why is it a good idea to pull your hair back rather than to let it hang in all the food or over kitchen equipment? Why should you tie your hair back when you cook? Number 3, what's a better choice than a wobbly chair for reaching objects high in the kitchen? So what should you use instead of some wobbly old chair if you're trying to reach something up high? And number 4, what are 3 safety precautions that you can take to protect yourself from burns? Okay, so questions 1, 2, and 3 require 2 answers, but question number 4, you have 3 blanks to fill in. Okay, so all of these answers are going to be found on the page right before. I will fill in this answer sheet and I will scan it in for you to check your answers tomorrow. So that kind of wraps everything up. I know these videos are long. I'm trying to get through them so that I don't bore you to death. But tomorrow we will be doing another math warm-up, a career journal, and then we're going to jump back to the interview skills and the social skills. So kind of alternate days between interview skills and social skills with kitchen safety. So if you need anything, you can email me, you can comment below this video. If you can, give me a thumbs up so that I know you've seen it, or write a comment below that says, hey, I watched this, your hair looks dumb, or hey, I watched this and Katie is doing a good job on her game, whatever. Show me a sign that you're out here working on this. I love you all. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe and healthy, and I hope I see you soon. All right, work hard. Love ya. Bye.